Coming up on GET,
we take a look at grade culture at CHS,
we go back in time to the wild, wild west,
and we get a sneak peek at an upcoming project. I think it's safe to say that CHS students care about their grade, sometimes a little too much.
AnMei gives us an in-depth look at grade culture at CHS.
Meet Dali Sullivan, an 18-year-old recent graduate from Alpine, Texas. Over the summer, Dali spent months planning, researching, and finally representing herself in a court debating her class ranking. She got ranked third in her graduating class and continued on to sue her school for miscalculating grade point average. Despite the fact that she had already accepted scholarships and committed to a college, Dali spent her final senior summer in a Zoom courthouse simply to receive a number. According to a 2002 study at the University of Michigan, 80% of students surveyed based their self-worth on academic performance. At Clayton, this pressure for good grades, with the connection between happiness and numbers, is all too strong. Dali lost her battle with the school, but raised many questions about grading and the connection students make with grades and self-worth.
I feel like a lot of my self-worth is based on my grades, specifically just like the letters, and also in comparison to other people's grades as well.
No, it's not, my grades don't define me, but it kind of defines my work ethic in my mind.
But in getting a bad grade, knowing that other people got good grades makes me feel like disappointed in myself.
I think the culture at Clayton really encourages students to assign a lot of worth and a lot of value to their grades, because especially when you've been labeled kind of as a good student, you were in the gifted program, people having higher expectations of you, but when it's kind of your identity revolves around that, I think it can be really toxic, and I see that a lot with people at Clayton.
I would say that I'm only happy with the grade if it's an A.
I'm not completely happy with my grade unless I know that I've done the best out of everyone.
Because I think also at Clayton we have, in addition to like a grade culture and just like an individual need to want to do well, there's also kind of, I guess, some competition.
I recognize that it's stupid, but in terms of like what makes me like feel accomplished, it's definitely that A+.
I am happy when I get an A. That's like the only self-fulfilling thing that I get.
I'm often not happy with my grades. I'm always feeling like I could have done something different or I should have done better.
And I think that's something I've learned over my years at Clayton, is I used to think even if I like worked my hardest, then my hardest just wasn't enough if I wasn't getting the A. So I think it's like a big thing that you kind of have to realize as you go through high school, is that it's more about your effort and acknowledge that and kind of give yourself the credit.
I prioritize getting good grades over actually learning content, and that can often just force sometimes I just forget things that I've learned because it doesn't matter if I don't have the good grade, and it doesn't matter whether I learn it as long as I have the good grade.
You can get points off, or your grade can go slightly down because of something so arbitrary that doesn't really reflect your entire skills as a learner.
It's not a good reflection of what I actually understand and what I'm going to continue to understand after I take that test.
I find a lot of times what happens is we'll finish a unit in class, or I'll take a test and I'll understand how to do it on the test, but by literally the next day, I've kind of blocked that out and moved on to the next thing that I need to be memorizing, or the next grade that I need to be getting.
Cause it's like I can know the material, but just the amount of work can pile up on me quickly and I won't get anything done.
Tests grade your ability to take tests well, and it doesn't really grade your work ethic, which I think we should be graded on.
If like the administration and teachers can work together to kind of look at the different ways that grading can be used to, one, accurately represent the students' knowledge of the material, but also have students feel like their effort is reflected in some way, and have students be proud of their grades and like acknowledge that that's the grade that they got, but also like be willing to move on more easily, and know that it doesn't affect the rest of their life.
The teachers are always like, yeah, we need to stop doing this, and the counselors are always like, yeah, you should just put less pressure on yourself. But I feel like just saying that doesn't change like 10 years of since kindergarten. What did you get on your spelling test or whatever?
In terms of a systemic thing, I'm not entirely sure that they always do reflect learning in a course. What they often seem to reflect more is a student able to play the game of school? And are they able to manage all of the different responsibilities that are put onto young people?
So I strive to make it. I don't think it's perfect. So, and that's why the way I've reevaluated is we try to do some of these new things that have maybe happened this year, whether it's around retakes or test corrections or other things, because it's not perfect. Right? I don't know if there's a perfect system. We're trying to refine and get better.
Parents and families need to take that step and say to young people, this is not about your worth. This is not who you are. It's about the quality of this work in this circumstance.
The advice I would give to a student who is hyper-focusing on their grade is learn to focus on learning. And if you can focus on learning the content, the grade will come with it. Be patient. The grade at the end is what matters, and it is a journey. That process of getting to the end is more important than a single snapshot along the way.
Christmas time may be over, but there's always time to check in with Santa.
Robbie, Vivien, and Zach have a chat with Santa about his workshop conditions.
My name is Santa Claus. You may know me by Saint Nick. Or that big fat red guy. Most communists tarnish my name. Red is my color. Step off my turf. You can be the Greens. Oh, that's my color too. What about Jeff Bezos? You know, well, he's an entrepreneur like me, but you see, he's making the Christmas biz a little difficult, because I'm the one who delivers the presents. I don't need Amazon delivering presents. I might have to send Blitz and Squad Run to Bezos and deliver a little surprise present, if you know what I mean.
What do you think of his fulfillment centers?
What's a fulfillment center? I've actually been thinking, you know, with these elves unionizing, I might have to switch to alternative forms of labor. At my workshops, all Amazon workers, you get at least 3 bathroom breaks a day, alright? You can't top that anywhere. And you are treated very fairly and equally. And I pay, well, candy canes. Don't tell them this, but you know, the average, I don't think workers are people either. You know, I've had to close a few workshops because of the unions, and ultimately, that's just gonna mean less choice for all you kids out there. And you can blame those dirty unionizing elves. It's a well-known fact that I hate poor people, right? You know, why do you think all the rich kids get all the rich stuff? It's because, you know, I love them. And if you're poor, you know, maybe you need to work a little harder. You can't be relying on old Saint Nick to just come and give you presents. You know, that's not what Christmas is about. I might be paying the elves in the North Pole a couple candy canes more than the elves here. And you know, I might not be paying them real money, but the elves, what are they gonna do with money? Yeah, there was one year where we got a bit of a mix-up on a shipment of candy canes, and we kind of got sent a ton of packing peanuts on accident. We over-ordered that because we use those to send out the Christmas presents. So instead, I had to pay my workers with packing peanuts. But you know, that is fair. They have great nutritional value for elves. That's like, I paid them 3 times the normal rate what candy canes would be. There were elves who were making like 3 candy canes, and they come out with 6 whole packing peanuts. I think I was actually really doing them a favor there in such hard times. I've been really trying to tell the elves that building toys all day is fun, and that's what they should want to do. And you know, some of them are catching on, but others, it's like, I don't think the North Pole is the place for you. If you unionize, you hate Christmas and you hate children.
Wow, that Santa was great.
Yeah, he really Santa'd it up.
Next up is a stop motion animation from Jacob.
You wait out here.
and keep an eye on the kid.
Ah, Mando, good to see you. Follow me, old friend. Ah, you sure you don't want something to drink, Mando? Spotchka? Anything?
I'm fine, thanks for asking.
So, how's the child been doing?
The kid? Yeah, he's fine.
Good to hear. Although I do have some troubling news for you, my friend.
Which is?
About a week ago, a bounty hunter came to Navarro. He was asking people if they knew a Mandalorian that they may have seen in Navarro before. Thankfully, I already made sure all the citizens would never speak of you or the child. I, of course, didn't say anything either.
So if no one said anything, what's the problem?
You see, what concerned me wasn't that he was looking for you. It was about who the bounty hunter was.
Who was it?
It was the notorious bounty hunter known as Boba Fett, and Fennec Shand was with him. And now, Fett has taken over the Hutt's business, right here on Tatooine. So if he's looking for you, then you have a big problem.
Hey Jack, do you ever wonder what school would be like in the Wild Wild West?
No, not really.
Me neither. Kevin and Mohammad show us in a comedy sketch.
You're new in town, partner, aren't you?
Sure am. Just transferred from Ladue.
We don't take kindly to visitors around here.
You're new in town, partner.
What's it to you?
Thing is, I run things around here. It'd be in your best interest to stay out of my way.
You threatening me?
Just offering a piece of advice, partner.
Morning. Ah!
Hello, class. I know normally we reserve today's hour for chemistry, but for right now I want to talk about the history of the Great American Plains. Now, class, can anyone tell me how to ford a river? Yes, you?
I reckon I'll give it a fair shot.
What was that you pulled there, partner?
Just doing my job.
I told you this was my town, and you ain't listening.
Now hold your horses. I don't want no trouble.
It's too late for that. You've gone too far. Time for a duel.
All right, we'll duel. At high noon.
Actually, I have first lunch, so could we maybe do it at 11:40?
Oh, yeah, I have a free period, so that works too.
See you then, partner.
See you then.
Stop! I won't have any dueling in my town.
And who might you be?
Does this mean anything to you?
Now.
Oh, how about... How about now?
Ah, that's the sheriff.
I will not be having any roughhousing in the fine halls of this here school. You two are headed straight to detention.
I mean jail. You know what I'm thinking, partner?
I reckon I do.
And so, they rode off into the sunset, never to be seen in these halls again.
You've been waiting patiently for it, CHS.
Coming up next is a sneak peek at the second installment of the Pasta Police Department.
The meatball's been found.
Are you out of your mind? Okay, I'll talk.
You know, you gotta, yeah.
Wow, that detective looked really dashing.
Yeah, and the director of that must have been pretty talented too.
Totally.
Well, this has been GET,
a production of the Greyhound News Network.
Have a Meta Monday
this weekend.
Touch you with a double glazing, but the curtains were drawn.